In the Nine Emperor Gods Festival, it's a very fuzzy line between Taoism and folk Chinese religion. It's a mixture of both Taoism and then you have the aspect of shamanism, which is the earliest version of worship in China. So it's a syncretic of both religions. My name is Daryl Lee Ming Wei. I'm 30 years old and I am from Ampang. To understand the origins of the Nine Emperor Gods, there are many versions, but I will stick to just mainly two versions, which I think is most likely the form the basis or the backbone of the Nine Emperor Gods Festival. So first we'll start with the most original version of the Nine Emperor Gods worship, but actually they're not known as the Nine Emperor Gods, they're known as the Nine Star Gods, so which forms the Big Dipper in the sky. The Big Dipper is a very important star because it's when navigators use it to navigate the waterways or when they are traveling on land. Early Chinese people, they worship these 9 stars because they guided them through many of their travels. This leads to the second version, which is where the Gongxis and the gangs, the anti-Qing establishments who were escaping. So according to certain stories, they had 9 rebel leaders. 9 rebel leaders who were actually escaping from the Qing Empire. Hence the play of the Hokkien words of Gao Ong Ye. Gao Ong Ye could mean 9 Emperor Gods, but Gao Ong Ye could also mean saving the 9 lords. Gao as in save, Ong as in lords, and Ya. Okay, it's related to the Chinese calendar and it's celebrated from the first day of the 9th lunar month all the way to the 10th day. I'm one of the mediums in the temple. I've been the medium for almost 9 years now, and it's actually my final year this year. What started out to be I would say being thankful or returning a gesture to the Nine Emperor Gods, because I made a vow to the Nine Emperor Gods that if my dad gets healed from his sickness, I would continue on. Eventually became a part of something of my life. What happens during the 9 days of the festival? Usually, as a medium, we usually psych ourselves up by being vegetarian, say 5 days prior to the festival, to really cleanse ourselves. When you first started out, you're afraid, but eventually, as the schedule goes by and years goes by, it becomes like a routine for you, and you just melt into your position eventually. A lot of followers will come down in the 10 days and will stay in the temple. So a lot of these followers are actually passed down from generations to generations. So most of the followers are not just people from Ampang. They are people from Indonesia, there are people from Penang, there are people all the way from Thailand, Singapore, and then to some extent Vietnam and also from Myanmar. Okay, during the festival, I would say an average around 8,000 to 10,000 people come to the temple daily. So if you put that up in simple math, you get around 100,000 people during the 10 days. So it's quite an amazing number. Okay, for the Nine Emperor Gods Festival, Ampang is considered by many to be the oldest Nine Emperor Gods temple in Malaysia, which there is a counterclaim in Penang and also Ipoh, which both claims they have the oldest Nine Emperor Gods temple. For the Nine Emperor Gods Festival in Ampang, the closing off ceremony usually happens very late, early in the morning. So the send-off is just a simple send-off. Most of the devotees will follow out the procession, and what happens from there, the emperor will make a very solemn return back to the river. the festival is over, when everybody comes back to the temple, everybody changes to red from their white clothing. And then they start to eat meat. My hope for the future for mediumship is that I hope that it will continue on. There will be other generations, but hopefully the other generations are not just channeling for the show of it, but to channel to help people. So I hope that in the near future, technology and social media could play a part in these old traditions as well, to spread it out more to people. It doesn't mean it just needs to be superstition, but science could be brought in as well. It doesn't need to be very magical in a sense to say. As I would like to put it, the gods which comes down to the mediums, we don't just give magical talismans or magical water to people to drink and then to get healed. No, it's not just that. Our role is to give a support to the person who has come us for consultation, to give him a sense of calmness, to make him more relaxed. But other than that, the other part, 60%, is all human. Hence the saying, God only helps those who help themselves.